What's up, y'all? Just wanted to make this quick video because I'm kind of excited and there doesn't seem to be a lot of information online about this. But yeah, so I'm kind of working on setting up Beancount for myself. Beancount is basically one of three plain text accounting softwares, and yeah, I want to try using it. So, anyways, everything is stored in plain text, which is kind of cool. No, no GUI required. You can plug GUIs into it pretty easily, and yeah. But one of the issues with bean count is like you don't want to write out every single transaction, by hand. I mean, even doing that in a spreadsheet would be annoying, and doing that in a spreadsheet is a lot easier. So what people do is they create scripts to basically take this information from their spreadsheet from their bank and uh, convert it to bean text, bean count format. So that's kind of what I've been working on for a little while now. Um, so I just kind of wanted to share it with you. This script. There's a lot of information online, and they have supposedly good documentation. But the little bit that I've looked at their documentation, it looks like it's too granular, which I guess is a good problem to have. But it looks like it's a an all day ordeal digging through documentation. So I used my handy dandy LLM to just kind of help me out and created a script through that. It's a Python script. So I'll kind of show you, yeah, what it outputs basically. So this here is an example file. So this is like Chase Bank format. I created a credit card one first. So um, so at least the Chase credit cards look like this, and this is made up numbers. So some of the stuff is blank, like post date. I don't care about post date. So this is when the transaction was made, the transaction date, and then post date is once it hits your account. Don't care. Description's important, obviously. Category I think is helpful, especially since if you're looking at your real bank statement, some of these descriptions will be kind of cryptic and hard to understand. So having your bank categorize it for you can be helpful. And then the type is if it, I think it's like well, it's basically, was it a payment or was it a transact not a transaction, but what was it, a sale or a payment? Basically, again, not helpful at all. That's why I have positives and negatives. So I actually kind of find it strange. These are kind of some of the things that I had to watch out for. Was I'm going to be the script is basically going to be formatting it and treating this like a liability account, since this is a Chase credit card. So I actually don't want these negative numbers are transactions, they're sales. So I don't actually want this to be negative. I want this to be positive. Once it shows up on bean count. So there's been little things that I've kind of had to tweak, but I've done no coding with this. So this has entirely been me conversating with like my local LLM and figuring it out that way. And it worked absolutely gorgeously. Now, this might be like spaghetti code. I don't really care as long as it works. So, and like I said, this is in Python. The only thing we had to like import was like CSV, date time. But yeah, this is it. So let's go ahead and run it, and I can kind of show you what it looks like here. So basically, how this works right now is I'm in a directory. This one happens to be a document directory, but you need to have your CSV in the same directory as your Python script. And then what you also need to have in the same directory is wherever this is going to be outputting or writing the information. So for testing, we're calling it output, but it can be whatever we want. It can be named whatever we want. So I have the Python script here, chase to bean count, and then I have my bank statements.csv, and then I have the output. This is where it'll be writing it to. So I'm just going to go to my terminal, and actually, let's do, I don't think it matters, but let's just do this one. So we execute that, no errors, very nice, very nice. And actually, let's just, I don't think that I'll be needing the shell again, but so now we can look at the output, and there's our output. Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and close out of that. Okay. So this is our output. So it's got date. Originally, it was flipped to where the newest transactions were at the top, but I had to flip that. So you've got your dates in chronological order, the description in quotation marks, because you're going to get weird symbols and stuff like that with your real bank transactions, and it can throw off Beancount. And then every single one of these is like it's already set up to be in your liabilities, and then for this is a Chase Freedom card, so Chase Freedom. Because this script and document is only intended for a Chase account. Now, apparently what you can do is, when I make a script for some of my other cards, I'll have other documents that will look just like this, except for it might say liabilities Amex or Capital One or whatever, or it might be a debit card. But what you can do is you can have your main Beancount document pull all of that information from all those other Beancount documents and put it all in one. So this one's pre-set up to just have everything set up as liabilities Chase Freedom. Now, if we wanted to, we could tinker around with also having our second our second account be set up, but I actually just want this commented out, because I want to set I want to set the second account up myself, and I don't want the script to do that for me. So I might want to be more granular, and I don't want to be able to like save the document or run Beancount if it's not exactly how I like it. So these sections here that are grayed out are manual, so this is here just for reference for myself if I need it, if it's not clear what kind of transaction it is. But yeah, so normally you follow this same like syntax. So you have it's a liabilities account, Chase Freedom, and then it's going into maybe an expenses entertainment is how this would go. So this would be changed to, well, I guess we can just do it. Let's see. Let's just change this to expense. There we go. All right. So yeah. So now it balances out. So it's adding money. It's adding money to your liabilities, and it's going into your expenses. Your entertainment nested in expenses. So anyways, that's how the script works and everything. Super easy. So what I can do, like once a month, is I run this script again for the month of December or whatever, and it will look for this document, and it will add the transactions and again sort it in chronological order. So my most recent transactions will still be like at the bottom of the document. So I think that this was fairly easy to set up. I mean, I've never used Beancount before, so this looks right to me from what I've seen. But but it was pretty easy to do. So I think when I set up my Amex and Capital One and my local bank and all that stuff, I think that all of that will be like really easy to do with the same script as kind of like the bare as the bones of it. So yeah. Anyways, I'm really excited, but just wanted to share that and everything. Here's the script. I might throw it on GitHub. I've seen a couple of other scripts on GitHub, but I'm sure they're more feature rich than this one. But this one's like really easy to. This one's like really easy to edit. So I'll probably just have this one as Chase since we know that Chase. We know the format of the CSV for Chase, and then all you have to do is just go to the bottom here and like change some very basic stuff like the CSV file name that it's looking for. Right now it's bank statement, but it can be whatever you want. And you could even set this up to where it's user input. So user input, what's the name of it? Oh, it's June CSV or whatever. Um, so yeah, so all you'd have to do is adjust your CSV file name, and then uh, how do you want to categorize all of these transactions? Uh, so for this one, it's a liability account, um, and then your output file. And I'm eventually going to change this. I'll probably just change it to Chase. I'll probably do it like Chase Freedom dot Beancount, and there you go. So, anyways, it was pretty easy breezy, and I know this is gonna help someone out, so I just wanted to share it and stuff. So, hopefully it was helpful. All right, thanks, y'all. See ya.